In previous videos, I've shown you how to make a Google form and how to add questions. Now I'm going to show you how to go into the advanced options for each one of those questions. Here we have my side of the form, what I'm going to actually see, and here we have what the students are actually going to see, or anyone you're giving the form to. And it's a mix of all the different types of questions you can have. I have two text, a paragraph text, a multiple choice, drop-down menu. Also have another multiple choice question here. By the way, handy little trick, sometimes it's useful to put a multiple choice question with only one possible answer. You're not going to learn anything, but it's sometimes a way to stress a point, because obviously Empire is the best of all the Star Wars films there. I don't even need any other options. Checkboxes, and scale, a grid, and time. I'm going to show you how to go into the advanced options for each one of these. So here I'm going to kind of skip the name one for now, but I'm going to go into student ID. I want them to put all numbers with no letters or symbols. Well, the way to do that is you go into the edit menu for each one, and then you go under advanced settings. What I want to do is I want to click on data validation, and I want to click number, and I have a lot of different stuff. I could say I need them to do a whole number, or it's between things, or not equal, or equal to, or greater than. What I'm going to do though is I'm just going to say it has to be a number. And I'm going to put in some custom error text. Now, what it's going to do is it will take different inputs, but all of them have to be a number. In this case right here, if they tried to enter anything else, it would say, please enter a number, no symbols or letters. So it would not allow them to submit unless they actually change that. So again, you find that under the edit, under advanced settings, validation, number is number. And you can also do, you want it equal to, you want it greater than, let's say we want it to be greater than, we know all student IDs start with, a 6-digit number, so it has to be greater than 100,000. So now if they tried to enter a student ID of, it would say, please enter a number, no symbols or letters. In this case, I could change that to be, so this way I'm even telling them. Always put, if you're putting some sort of data validation, always make sure you put in the information for what you're requiring. Otherwise, people will be trying to submit it and won't know why it's failing. So now if I tried to do this, it would say, please enter a number greater than 100,000. When I go into the paragraph text, I have some options there as well. I can go under advanced settings, I can do text, or I can do a regular expression. Regular expressions are very, very powerful, but a little bit more difficult. I'll have a link in the description if you're really interested. In this case here, I'm obviously going to be getting text from them. Let's say I want a minimum character count. I want them to at least enter 250 characters. That includes spaces and all punctuation. Again, always put in the custom error text. So now if they try to submit anything less than 250 characters, it wouldn't let them do it. So I'll try ruler. It would say, please use at least 250 characters. Alternatively, if you don't want to grade something that's really long, or maybe you want them to make a tweet and you want them to make sure that it's maximum 140 characters, you can change that to maximum 140 characters and hit done. And now if I try to refresh this, it's okay with that because I was less than 140 characters. However, now I've gone over that limit there. So these are the options that you can do with both text and paragraph text. Under the multiple choice, I'll refresh that to clear that. Under my advanced settings, the really only advanced option I have is I can shuffle the option order. Nice thing about this is that it's essentially randomizing everything, so you're not going to get the exact same setup each time. So I'm going to hit done here, and if I take a look every time I refresh this, it's putting them in a different order. For any multiple choice or checkbox or even a drop-down menu, I recommend shuffling the choices unless it's something where you have a really long list and you want to keep it alphabetical. Then shuffling it is just kind of mean. So in this case here, I have choose from a list. And same thing here under advanced settings, my only option is to shuffle it. Same thing with this one. And obviously with just a single multiple choice question here, even shuffling it doesn't really do anything. I can shuffle it again when it gets to checkboxes. So I could shuffle the option order, but I also have one other option here. I have data validation, where I can say, I want you to select at least, at most, or exactly. Let's say I want them to say, what are your 2 favorite Star Wars movies? So in this case here, my data validation, I'm going to change that to select exactly 2, and then of course, make sure you put in the custom error text so they know what they're doing wrong if it submits wrong. I'll make that required and hit done. Now on my actual form, let's say I want to pick these 2 here, it's going to be okay with that. So here, if I try to submit it, it's going to say only select 2 movies. So it's going to make me go back and switch that. Otherwise, it won't let me submit it. Going down to the scale here, really no advanced options for the scale. But going down to our grid, we have another advanced option that we haven't seen before. We can say limit responses to 1 per column. So this way, when I'm actually doing this, when I start selecting them, I can't put them all like this. It says only 1 per column, so I have to spread them out a little bit here. Now it's going to be okay with that, because each column is slightly different. And the last thing here, underneath the date, no advanced options for that. So the only advanced options that we really have are for the text, paragraph text, multiple choice, drop down, checkboxes, and grid. Those where we have the advanced options, though there also is regular expressions, very powerful, but a little bit beyond the scope of this course.